Welcome back to another episode of HY Sports Talk. I am back to tell you guys what is going on around the NFL today, and most people have already known the news of Cardinals Pro Bowl receiver Deandre Hopkins being suspended for 6 games for violating the NFL's PED policy. So, there is some rumors that he could have done it because he wanted to come back in Week 7 for the playoff stretch. Or he could have just done it by accident by not knowing what he was putting into his body. I mean, you could take some creatine pills or anything and not realize what's going into your body. And he said this about him getting suspended. I could believe him, but I also could not because I've seen crazier things. But he could have done this, like I said, so he can come back in Week 7 fresh for the second half of the season and a nice, lengthy playoff run. Anything he could have honestly done it for, but he is 32 years old. He's getting up there. He could have just used it to honestly just enhance his play. But for fantasy owners, you should be looking at a better half of the second season and everything with that. And honestly, for fantasy owners also, Hollywood Brown, him and, Kyler in college were a dominant duo. So you could be looking at that for Marquise Brown to have a blow-up 7 weeks. And that could be awesome for him. So you should be looking at that. Next up, we will have our tendering free agency, our unrestricted free agency signings. So this article that I pulled up from ESPN, which was reported by Adam Schefter, I believe, on Instagram. I'm not sure. But anyways, the Kansas City Chiefs used their unrestricted free agent tender on pass rusher Melvin Ingram, and the Ravens used theirs on their pass rusher Justin Houston. And it says UFA tender is released, blah blah blah, and it says this is used for if they want to, have a longer time to talk out their deal, and that is before the deadline, which that is now July 22nd for them, or the first day of training camp. Whichever is later, the signings would count towards the NFL's compensatory formula, blah, blah, blah. If they don't sign by the deadline, the teams would retain 110% of their 2021 salaries. So you could be seeing deals for them in the near future. And if they didn't reach a deal, Melvin Ingram's would be $4.4 million, and Justin Houston's would be $1.1 million that those teams would be getting back. Now, next up for the biggest news is the Saints, and I'm assuming you already saw it, but they signed Tyrann Mathheau. So Tyrann Mathheau, the Honey Badger, returning home, coming back to New Orleans. He went to college at LSU. He was raised in Louisiana, New Orleans, and this honestly doesn't surprise me that he wanted to sign with the Saints and he wanted to return home. That's what some NFL players just want to do. The deal is worth $33 million for 3 years, so approximately $11 million a year, with $18 million of that guaranteed. This was reported by Adam Schefter, which, it could be fake, but I highly doubt it is, because he was saying that he wanted to go to the Saints and return to them for a long time. So that's all I got for today, and I will be coming out with my 5 best teams draft classes and the 5 worst teams draft classes. And with the 5 best teams draft classes, I also have honorable mentions, so be looking out for that later tonight. And that's all I got. Thank you.